Yay! Oh my gosh, finally it was working. Spinning and spinning. Going live. I'm going live. Not going live. So we are live, ready to go. Let's see. Sure it's working.
This is me when my friends call.
Gotta listen to ads first to double check that it's working. Yay! Okay, we are rocking and rolling. Oh, how exciting. Okay. I'm always asking people when they come to my classes for cheese or sourdough, and especially organic gardening. I'm like, just you got to go outside your comfort zone and what you typically know. And I can tell you by doing live calls pushes me every time. And this is like maybe my fourth one, maybe my fifth one at the most. And it's like you never know what's going to happen, right? It's live, it's real life. It's like if you showed up and I was like, frustrated at something, and that's what you get to see. So okay, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, you can go ahead and pop them in the chat. I did get some random questions sent an email to me, which is exciting. So first, I thought I would say hi. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Or if you catch it later on, I'm going to do these more often, or I'm going to do them there. I always have them every month in my homesteading membership site. So, which is really fun because then you get to know people a little bit better when you can show up on camera, or at least I'm up on camera, but then have actual conversation instead of random scrolling through of Pinterest or Instagram or something where you don't really get real information and you don't get the whole picture when you're learning something. So that's why I really like to do my membership club, because then you get to know people, they get to know you and trust you, and just build that relationship. And I think we have lost a lot of that with technology. So it's like a love hate thing because I have to use technology to reach people and talk to people. But I'm also being able to get out a lot more in my community as well. I was asked to speak at a homesteading expo event. I guess it was a week ago, a little bit over a week ago. And I was able to talk about homesteading 101 and seed saving. And so I ran over both of my sessions because I just can't not share things. Like, you got to give me such a long time. So, but it was so fun. And I just really, really liked just being able to meet people in the community who are just looking more for that connection and actually learning from real stuff, especially in your local area, right? Like, I can't learn gardening from someone in Hawaii or Mexico or something, right? It's totally different up here in northern Michigan. We went downstate the other day, and just to go downstate was like felt like such a different world from up here in northern Michigan. I'm not in the UP, I'm just above the 45th parallel, but it's just such a completely different animal, different beast up in here. So yeah, so if you guys have questions, you can write it in the chat and I'll be able to answer them. So I'll just give some updates here on the homestead, the shenanigans that's going on. So this is the most exciting news. This is probably one of my favorite things, except for to show, like, give birth to a child. So don't tell them. But this one right here, we are working very, very hard on getting this published. My new book, Seed to Plate. It's going to be a homesteader's guide to gardening and cooking. So this is the manuscript right here that I've been working on very diligently, and annoying to everyone in the family when dinner and right now currently lunch is on pause because I am working on this bad boy right now. But yeah, so half the book, I mean, this is just, I'm just stupidly excited about this. So half the book is exactly showing you how I garden, and a lot of the gardening techniques you can use in a lot of different areas. Maybe not Hawaii or Mexico, like I mentioned, but anywhere in a colder climate or anything like that. It shows exactly how I garden. Organic gardening, I've been doing it for over 20 years, and it goes through step by step all my favorite things to use, learning how to seed save, the favorite things, like my staple crops that I absolutely love, like your potatoes, garlic, onions, and stuff like that. Just and beans, my purple, my famous purple potted pole beans. Just learning how to just buy them once. That's all you got to do. It's just buy them once, and then you just learn to seed save and replant them every year. And this past year, we actually harvested about 1,000 pounds of potatoes, y'all. That's a lot of spuds. That's a lot of potatoes. So that, what a blessing to be able to have that potato, which I feel is very, very nutritious. It's not just a starch. It's got some good stuff in it. You can utilize it for so many different things. So yep, 1,000 pounds. Yeah, good stuff there. So that's exciting. So yeah, so I've been working on that, working on the membership membership site. Here's the calendar for this month for November. We're working on. I just recorded the raw honey presentation and made the workbook that goes with it as well. Just talking about the amazing benefits of raw honey. And here, I'll just show you guys here today. I thought I'd show things. So this is actually my raw honey here. And the all the chunks, you're wondering, what the frick is those chunks? Those are actually rose hips. So I'm infusing the honey with the rose hips. So honey has vitamin C in it, and rose hips is maximum vitamin C. So I'm getting double vitamin C by infusing that for a month, and then I'll strain it out and then have a scoop a day, or when I'm feeling sick or anything like that. So I love that. And this is just an Amazon product that the kids have helped me design. They inspired me to come up with this product, but it's a craft kit for it has all the bunch of craft stuff in it that any child or adult can make the actual cat toys. And they're definitely cat approved because they've been making cat toys for a long time. So that is up on Amazon as well. So um to say I don't, yeah, I've got a lot going on. I got teaching a cheese class. I'm updating the cheese workbook right now. Just all kinds of really fun things to be able to help people and reach out to people and stuff. And it's just been mind blowing to see how God has just provided so much. So it's very exciting here in Northern Michigan, here with me up in the food prude and all that kind of stuff. So questions. Oh, so people are asking, like, particularly what we do to get winterized, I guess is the word, to get ready for winter. We have to do a lot around here, and we had a really like extended fall, well, nice warm weather, but it also pushed like getting projects in, because some you just needed to wait until it's actually getting really enough cold where it's done. Like I needed the frost and freeze to happen so I could harvest my roots from my herb garden, so that I could start getting those infused with the alcohol to make tinctures. So I needed that to get going. And then, so I needed to wait on that. And then, of course, we've been chopping and stacking and splitting and then stacking the wood to get the wood ready. I think we go through 25 cords of wood in our outdoor wood boiler that we're able to warm and keep the house very warm all winter long, which is great. I absolutely love that kind of heat. It's we have a radiant heat, so it just keeps the temperature like, I think we have it on like 69, 70 all the time. So it's very nice, even though I'm sitting here in a sweatshirt right now. Yeah, that's strawberry shortcake. That shows you what years I may have been born in. So yeah, so we winterizing, making sure the wood is stacked for us, making sure that all of our root vegetables have been picked out of the ground and stored. So like the potatoes I was mentioning, and all of our pumpkins and stuff like that. I keep them in like a 45, 50-degree area that is dark basically. And I put a fan on just to kind of keep, any moisture level down and stuff like that, where you don't want too much moisture to get things moldy, especially like with the potatoes, because they came out of the ground. There's lots of dirt, so there's lots of moisture. So we kind of like let them dry off outside underneath our lean-to, and then we kind of move them into storage. So that's kind of what we do with our potatoes. So that was definitely that has big projects. Then we needed to button up our gardens. We're still working on it, but we got the front garden done where we have our two pigs in there. We got Hazel and big old Blondie Sue in there. Um, so she, so they're in there, and so we need to pull everything out. And then I needed to use the hog and cattle panels that I use for my tomatoes trellis system, which is great to utilize it, just moving it just a little bit, move it over there to block my greenhouse, my garlic, and some blueberries. And so that's another thing that we did. We had to plant our garlic in there as well, which we did about 400 this year. I could have did a little bit more, but that's the space I had, and I was just like, okay, that's good. I can't figure out anymore another space or anything like that. So we did that. Um, so garlic needed to be planted, of course. Detaching all of your hoses and stuff like that for the freezes and getting them wrapped up. We still have to build a little bit more, another sheep shelter and put them in the back garden after ripping stuff out. And then we'll rip the stuff out and give to our stud muffin pig Wilbur, and then the two other pigs as well, because the sheep don't really eat the leftover debris, from your garden, but the pigs do. They are really good at it. So we're putting the sheep in the back garden so they can fertilize. We call it direct depositing the doo-doo. So that's really great to be able to have animals on a homestead. Just trying to always utilize kind of full circle kind of stuff, making sure everything's getting used, nothing's getting wasted or anything like that. So that's kind of the stuff. I'm sure my husband probably has a whole bunch of stuff that he's has to get ready for winter. Um, he kind of does the animals. I do the gardening, kids. Of course, we're homeschooling the kids and everything like that. So that is what is going on here. I won't keep everybody too long. I'm really appreciating the interactions that I'm getting in my social media and stuff like that. Love the Patreon membership site. I've been really enjoying getting the just full lessons uploaded in there so people can utilize them as best as possible. And yeah, so if you can join for free for my Patreon group, and then you can get notified of some things, you get early access to videos and stuff. Or of course you can upgrade and then you get all the presentations and workshops and workbooks and everything like that. And oh, another question, yes, about the garlic. So garlic, it's you still have time to plant it, probably most places. Like I said, I'm up above the 45th parallel, and I still would be planting it. I mean, I would still feel fine for planting it for like 2 weeks. I think we're supposed to get some snow, but that I have planted it in the snow, literally, or when the snow has happened and then it melted and then I put it in the ground. As long as you can still get it in the ground in the next 2 weeks, I would be more than comfortable with still planting garlic, which is one of my favorite crops because it's a fun crop. You could just do it at the very end of the growing season, like now, and then you get to harvest it in July. Of course, if you do hardnecks, then you have escapes that you can utilize and fry them up or do all kinds of fun stuff like that. So again, if you guys have any questions before I go, I would just type it in the chat. Say holla here if you got those questions. But yeah. So I don't be shy, guys. Come on, ask some questions. I'm always getting messages, personal messages and stuff like that, that I answer all the time. I really need to try to focus and get them, on in one location, like either here or my membership site and stuff like that, so that everyone can benefit instead of just one-on-one messaging and stuff like that. So I will, let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, here's a book that I recommend. I'm just using this today because I was talking about honey. Beekeeper's Apothecary. Thanks, Kaylee. Fantastic resource. And it's such a beautiful book. So I'm hoping I can get a beautiful printed out book. This manuscript over here. It feels like my life is in these pages, people. So, all right. I will let you guys go. It's just a quick little live. Try to do more and get more interaction and stuff like that. I hope I answered people's questions, kind of gave you guys an update what's going on here, and lots of fun videos that are coming out. I just released one that showed exactly how I can tomato sauce. I personally was doing it outside, but you can replicate the same scenario inside your house as well, but it's complete step by step on how I do that. And then also another one coming out is rendering lard, which lard is a fat from the pig. So like people are always familiar with tallow because that comes actually from deer and from your cows. But lard comes from pigs. We happen to have pasture raised organic pigs. So utilizing fat from them, from safe animals that have been fed organic and they've been out on pasture with vitamin D from the sun and just rooting into like what they're supposed to do. The fat is really actually good for you. It's not something to be necessarily scared of. Now, your factory farmers, yeah, I would run the other way with that kind of lard, but I love our lard. So I turn that into my piggy soap, which I absolutely love, and it sells all over the world, not the world, the country. And then I've also turned it into a face cream that just like melts into your face, and it has been infused with bunch of herbs that I grow here on the homestead, and it is fantastic. And I have gotten great feedback on that stuff too. So fun to see again. It's a whole full circle moment where we are using all kinds of things. The pigs, we are raising them, they're fertilizing the garden grows us food. Then if we dispatch one of the pigs, then we get obviously their meat and their lard, and it does all kinds of stuff. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what homesteading is. And I always say that most people are probably already homesteading as long as you don't have to have the acreage or raise animals or anything like that. But if you're doing something for yourself, then you are a homesteader. If you are taking back more of that control and maybe making anything at home, growing anything at home, you are a homesteader. So welcome, friends, and bye, friends. So I'll see you guys later.